Hello, everybody. My name is John Kirch. It's great to see you here. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak to you. I'm with a company called Uppsala Security, and we're really focused on protecting digital assets and crypto securities. And the name of my presentation today is Analytical Solutions for Crypto World Risk Management and Regulation Compliance. So I know that all of you are very aware of what's going on in the news, and it seems like every other week that we see more news about hacking incidents, scams, and fraud. Thus far, I think more than $6 billion in crypto tokens have been hacked since the Mt. Gov incident. And this is becoming more and more an issue. But these events continue to happen. More recently, we had the Plus token Ponzi scheme that occurred, and that occurred just in December. I think a lot of people really even haven't heard about this incident, but more than $3 billion was scammed. That's a lot of money. So these things continue to occur, and something needs to be done about it because, as in our last presentation, in terms of 5G and healthcare, I believe that digital currencies have a very important role to play in future technologies that are coming to market, such as, for instance, autonomous vehicles or smart buildings or IoT and robotics. And that's really not going to occur until these types of problems are erased, crushed, or addressed in a more effective manner. Now, another important element to think about is really in today's crypto world, unfortunately, there's a big missing element, and that is if you do have a hacking incident, if you do suffer a scam or fraud, your security, protecting your assets, and remediating the problem is really up to you. So if you're an individual, that means maybe you can access your friends, for organization or employees or partners. But my point is that there generally is no accepted, trusted organization on a global basis in leading markets to which organizations and people can turn to in their hour of need when they've been hacked or scammed. But, in our conventional world, if somebody steals my PC or rips off my TV from the house, we can call the police. But, if you contact the police and say, somebody ripped off my Bitcoin, can you help me? They might have a chuckle about that, and they probably will say, sorry, but that's something we can't address. And as our world becomes increasingly interconnected, and the speed of data transfers accelerate, having that ability to address and to ensure security, to understand what's going on, is going to become increasingly more important. So, let me talk a little bit about Uppsala Security. Uppsala Security was born out of pain. My CEO, he was in Uppsala, Sweden, when the idea occurred to him that as a result of the fact that he was hacked in July 2016 of 7,218 Ethereum, $74,000 at the time, a lot more money now. Maybe he could do something about it by helping others to have tools and solutions to address these types of problems. Our CEO, Patrick Kim, is a security expert who used to work for Cisco and F5 and other leading companies like Trace. And he said, well, if I can get hacked, that type of money, anybody can be hacked. So we need to put together a solution for this. So Uppsala Security developed what we call Sentinel Protocol. And Sentinel Protocol is a rich suite of software applications and services for crypto security and AML to assist organizations and individuals to protect their digital assets, including cryptocurrencies, from hacks, scams, and frauds. More specifically, what we do is that we provide systems and services to help people to basically analyze and classify wallets as dangerous or safe, to do risk management, to track transactions on the internet, visualize them, analyze them, to do regulation compliance, and then to protect organizations in terms of protecting them from malicious attacks, from fraudulent transactions, and from scams. So we put together our company in January 2018. It's registered in Singapore. That's where we have our headquarters. We have another office in Seoul, Korea, and another office in Tokyo. Backed by all these types of leading partners and investors, we did an ICO in June. And since then, we've developed this suite of applications and services that I'm going to talk about. These are the names of various products and services that we have commercially released to the market so far today. Today we have over 1,000 users, including companies that are providing crypto exchanges, wallets, payment services, asset tokenization. We even have one client that provides a crypto ATM machines. So let me go into a little bit more detail as to what we do. Our core technology, name of it is Threat Reputation Database. We call it TRDB for short. It's basically a database running on a blockchain utilizing decentralization, composed of whitelist and blacklist. It's a vehicle by which people can share information about, for instance, dangerous wallets, safe wallets, URLs, URIs, and Twitter accounts that are associated or classified as dangerous or safe, and other types of security information. The reason why we put this together is that in today's world with conventional cybersecurity systems, when there is a zero-day attack, that means the first instance, first victim of a new type of attack. It generally takes the conventional cybersecurity companies about 68 days to analyze the attack, put together alternative solutions, determine which one is the best, then get it out, distribute it, and for people to install. That's 68 days by which the same attack, if inflicted to somebody else, will have a similar result. 68 days by which people will continue to suffer. So being able to speed up the sharing of security intelligence has a lot of benefit. It helps to reduce the vulnerabilities. So, for instance, instead of 68 days, imagine it's 1 day or 2 days, and it's done on a global basis. So if one of us here incurs an attack, we share that information, and all of our friends, our entire community, they can be protected in a matter of a few days, and that greatly reduces the vulnerability. So, how does this system work? Well, basically, it is a crowdsourced system where we receive data and information from white hat hackers, from ordinary people, from organizations, and we also use technology like bots that crawl the internet as well as Twitter, looking for data that basically shows us who's doing fraud, let's say on Twitter. We collect the data, and then after that it goes through a data verification process. We have security experts working for us outside the company and then inside the company. So there's a two-step verification process. Once the data has been verified, it is then entered to our TRDB, and it is then made available for sharing. Typically, when we receive data, it takes us maybe 2 or 3 days on average to analyze the data and to decide whether or not the claim is genuinely correct or not. When we enter data on the blockchain, there is no private confidential data, and the data is not encrypted either. So we do not enter the name of the person that submitted the incident report, their address, their telephone, their email address. None of that information is included on the blockchain. So we are adhering to privacy standards whilst we're making the security intelligence, which has been validated, available for sharing. And it's shared on a global basis. So, moving on, our first product that we brought to the market is called Upward. Our token that we have, that we are using is called the UPP. It's named after Uppsala in Sweden. And basically, this is a browser plugin. I'm going to demonstrate it to you in a few minutes, but basically what it does is It tells you as you're using the internet whether or not the site you're looking at is dangerous or safe in real time. If you receive a Twitter giveaway from somebody that's giving you their Twitter address and they said, well, you know, if you want to get in on this IEO, just send me a couple of fractions of a Bitcoin and I'll get you in. And maybe it comes from Elon Musk, but you want to validate whether or not that wallet associated with the Twitter giveaway is safe or dangerous. You could take that wallet address, plug it into our system, and it would then go up to our TRDB and tell you if that wallet address is designated, if it's in our blacklist or our whitelist. So therefore it gives you a means to verify and authenticate whether or not the individual that's contacting you and offering you this great investment opportunity is safe or dangerous. And therefore this is available. But not only that, it gives you a means of reporting hacking incidents and suspicious network activity. If you happen to be hacked, you can use this tool to report it. It will go to our security experts, they will analyze, review, and get back to you. And then, if appropriate, we'll put it into our TRDB without your confidential details. But this is a way by which you can share information and you get a response. And by the way, this product costs $0. It's available to the community free of charge. And we have different types of companies as well as individuals around the world using it today. But it's a very nice value add to the community. The next one kind of builds on that. We call it the ICF API. It stands for Interactive Cooperative Framework API. Basically, it's a RESTful API that I can integrate into software applications. So for instance, let's say I have a financial application where I'm remitting crypto coins. Well, before I remit the crypto coins, maybe I want to make sure the wallet I'm sending them to is designated as a safe wallet. Because if I don't, then I'm now breaking regulation. I have a compliance issue. So this means that you can have proactive cybersecurity or AML, which means that you're fighting the chance of having a problem before the problem actually occurs. Because once you write a transaction to the blockchain, deleting that transaction and changing it is pretty close to impossible. So being proactive is a lot better than being reactive. And so we are providing this ICF API, and organizations plug it into their applications. It typically takes about 5 man days to integrate it from beginning to end, and they're able to do proactive cybersecurity for, as well as regulation compliance using the system. The next one I'd like to talk about is called CARA. And CARA stands for Crypto Analysis Risk Assessment. Basically, this system uses AL, or machine learning, and it allows you to plug in a wallet address, and then it basically analyzes all the transaction that wallet has made since it was created, using algorithms that we developed over 9 months in-house. And it comes back with a probability based upon its analysis of whether or not that wallet is dangerous or safe. And it looks at transactions that are 10 steps above, 10 hops above the wallet that you designated, and 10 hops below. So basically, it looks at it from different points of view. Was this wallet involved in gambling, or phishing, or malware, and other vectors that we list? But it allows you to make an informed choice. It gives you not only the probability that this wallet is dangerous, but then it tells you why we considered it dangerous. And it also looks at the wallet's transaction behavior. Was the wallet used for relays in terms of moving crypto around from, let's say, a wallet associated with a scammer to an exchange for payout? Or was it involved in tumbling and mixing? That means basically where you take crypto and you run it through lots of different changes, a lot of different transfers, basically to throw off the trackers so that they lose they can't see your footsteps in terms of where you're transferring the crypto. So that's a common type of evasion technique that's used by hackers and scammers. The next one that I'd like to talk about is CATV. CATV stands for Crypto Analysis Transactional Visualization. Quite a mouthful. That's why I much prefer the name CATV. Basically what this tool does is it allows you to track, trace, analyze, and visualize crypto transactions across the blockchain and to audit them. You can put in a designated wallet. You can say how many hops upstream, how many hops downstream from that designated wallet, and it will show you a visualization of that wallet in terms of the upstream and downstream transactions. But in addition to that, it will show you all the transactions used to make that visualization. And you can take the transactions, dump them into a CSV file, pump them into your database or your Excel spreadsheet, and use it for your own modeling. And you can do other things that I'll show you later today. But it's a great way of, if you have been hacked, or you're concerned about KYC or a particular wallet, and you want to use your own analyst, this is a great tool for doing that, for zeroing in on the transactions and understanding what's been going on. Okay, so CATV, basically it generates this type of pattern, and all of those can be selected. You can see how many cryptos have come into that wallet, how many have gone out. We also show annotations, what basically means if there is a crypto exchange or the name of a wallet involved, we show that information if it's available. Many times it's not available. And then it's color coded, so you can look at it and you can get certain types of information. So for this particular pattern visualization, I know it's difficult to see, but the ones in red, it's going to our TRDB, that database I talked about that's on the blockchain, and it's telling you that those particular wallets are listed in our database as dangerous. And the purple color means an exchange, and then the other colors have other meanings as well. But we make it very easy to use. Then this schematic here, I'm basically showing how Sentinel protocol, our suite of products, we receive the data from various sources, including bots. We then share the information with VASP, that is Virtual Asset Service Providers. Those are any type of entity that is transferring, paying, storing, or dealing with virtual currencies. And we provide that information in various means to our customers. The VASP are in turn, they're giving us requests for forensics analysis, for instance, of transactions or investigations. And those requests are coming to us because we're providing that as a service as well. So in terms of some use cases, one of them is a company called BitBary. It's a wallet in Korea. They have 50,000 users. They're using our API to help protect their wallet. Another company is called Midas Protocol. They have an exchange called Phoenix. They also have a wallet called Midas. They're based in Singapore, and they're using our CATV. They're using our ICF API, and they're looking at using more of our products to protect their various services that they're providing to the users. And then over to the right, what we're talking about there is that we're currently developing a security agent that will run on mobile telephones. Because as we move forward into the future, you've heard of peer-to-peer trading or so direct trades without any central party. We're developing an agent that basically will run on mobile telephones that will help to provide security if you'd like to have it. You could download, install our agent, and therefore get some security, because otherwise you may be playing in a field that's quite dangerous. So with peer-to-peer trading, in my view, actually the security need goes up, it doesn't go down. And that is because you don't know who's on the other side of the trade. The other thing that I was asked to talk about by Norbert is our Upbit incident tracking system. Periodically, for various hacking incidents that occur, we put together an online tracking of hacking incidents. And we did this recently for a hacking incident connected with Upbit in Korea that happened, I believe it was in November, for, I got it over there, $52 million, but at today's rate, it's actually $58 million. And basically what we're providing here is online information to people that are interested on how the hack happened, what wallets were involved, and how much it cost, and basically where the money went to. And basically it goes through there, and you can see various KPIs associated with the hacking incident. You can access our CATV product, and you can do analysis yourself of the hacking incident if you would like to do so. And sometimes these patterns or visualizations get pretty complex because our CATV tool can handle up to 10,000 wallets in any particular visualization. We're developing a second version right now that will support up to 100,000. That will run on people's internal network on their servers. All the systems I've shown you so far today all run in the cloud, which makes them very, very easy to test, evaluate, as well as utilize. So, in terms of the key benefits that we're providing to our community, one, we're providing a community portal where people can report things, where they can receive security intelligence quickly, easily, at no fee by using our Rupert product. The other products that I listed, they're all available for an annual subscription fee, which is quite reasonable. That is tiered based upon the number of transactions or number of requests that you make on a monthly, annual basis. But we're allowing people to decrease the gap between, the incident and the solution. Sharing security intelligence so that there's a solution available faster and can be shared with people. And we're allowing people to collaborate and build safe ecosystems. Let's say the Mitsui complex of companies, or Mitsubishi, or some other group, or it could be an exchange in all their users and their partners too. But it helps to ramp up security amongst communities. We also are providing different types of solutions because different types of organizations have different types of security needs and policies, and those evolve over time, and needs do change. So we allow people to pick and choose the products and solutions we provide to fit their needs over time. And all of that basically leads to enabling people to have a strengthened sense of security, to be better able to protect their digital assets, their cryptocurrencies, from hackers, scams, and fraud, and basically to focus on future business, on building their business in a stable environment, instead of spending a lot of resources on fixing problems that occurred in the past. And all of that serves to build a stronger economic business reputation. So, these are our Connect details. If you're interested in contacting us, please do. I have a number of different contact points there. If you would like to evaluate our products, I have up at the top a URL that you can go to register, to submit an application, and to be able to test and evaluate our products without any fee and with remote technical support during normal working hours and except for national holidays in Singapore.